And my mom, my aunt, my cousin, and my dad. It only happens once in their life to a young teenage girl. A major aspect in the Latin culture is the tradition of having a quinceañera, and with this, I will discuss the origin, the components of the actual party, and why it's so important to us. Well before the Spaniards' arrival in America, many tribes, including the Inca, the Maya, the Toltec, and the Aztec, celebrated an initiation ceremony just like many other cultures around the world. Once they reach a certain age, the young girls are separated from the boys in order to receive a different type of education, one that varied according to the indigenous group they belonged to. The preparation of the young ladies was based on the future role they would take as members of the community. Once the preparation was complete, an initiation ceremony took place, and that took the form of an enormous celebration in many of the cultures. Christianity had a lot to do with the tradition. They would take the daughter to the altar to do a ritual before the party itself. Quinceañera is derived from the Spanish words quince, meaning 15. In modern times, the quinceañera celebration is an important cultural event for every family within the Latino community to celebrate once a girl turns 15 years of age. Many families work really hard to accomplish their daughter's desire of celebrating her quinceañera. The young lady's presentation to society varies according to the customs of each country. To have a grand celebration, you must be a respectable young lady as well before the party and after, or else you will be stripped of it all. I remember having to do so many chores and other preparations before my party, just to prove I was ready for the upcoming event. In addition, I will discuss all of the components of the actual party itself. In many countries, there is first a ceremony component, then the actual fiesta component. In the ceremony taking place at a church, the girl is symbolically transformed into a woman in front of her friends and family. Similar to a wedding ceremony, it includes a processional, attendance, and may have a religious component. Among devout families, the ceremony includes a traditional mass or religious service. The ceremony is the most important part of the quinceañera, and it makes the transition to womanhood official. Again, during the ceremony, the girl is accompanied by 14 couples in addition to her own attendant. The 15 couples, including herself, make up the court. Next, the girl is crowned with a tiara and may be presented with a doll, the last of her childhood. The most significant moment is when her father removes her flat shoes and replaces them with high heels. This is the moment that she officially becomes a woman in the eyes of her community. Moving on to the fiesta part. The fiesta, or reception, is a celebration of the girl's entrance into womanhood. It is a time for her friends, family, and potential suitors to congratulate her and interact with her on an adult level for the first time. Quinceañera fiestas include food, music, toasts, and dancing. Traditionally, both immediate and extended family assist with the cost of the reception. Immediately following the ceremony, the young woman and her father open the fiesta up with a traditional dance, and she is also expected to dance with her mother. Another important event is when the quinceañera court does their waltz. It's also fun to add a hip-hop dance afterwards, just to liven up the party. In addition to dancing, gifts are exchanged. Each guest gives the young woman a present, and in return, she provides them with a party favor. Furthermore, being the center of attention for hours on end can honestly be a little tiring for the young girl. However, it only comes once in a lifetime, so we tend to stick it out to the end. Especially keeping in mind all the money and gifts they bring to you, it's all worth it. Last but not least, I will discuss why it's such an important milestone in a Hispanic girl's life. Important resources have stated that it is to keep the word of God in her life forever. As a poem I once read goes, Today's celebrations embrace religious customs and the virtues of family and social responsibility. The Quinceniera tradition celebrates the young girl and recognizes her journey from childhood to maturity. The customs highlight God, family, friends, music, food, and dance. Another important reason why it is such a change in a young girl's life is because the minute she receives her ceremony gifts, it is supposed to symbolize adulthood as well. The traditional gifts have a special meaning for the quinceañera and their honored significance. The traditional ceremony gifts are special signs of loyalty, commitment to God, family, and the community. Mentally, after the age of 15, come tests and trials to see if she has or has not fully accepted the role of a young woman. As we all know, growing older gets more difficult as the days progress, from parents giving you more and more responsibilities to boys tugging on your ear for some attention. It is up to the parents to raise the girl right before the coming of age party comes so that they aren't so overwhelmed by the craziness that life brings to us all. It is even against Latin culture to not somehow symbolize a young girl turning into a woman, even though some would say 15 is too young. By the old traditions, it is just right. As I have discussed when and where the quinceañera originated, all the parts of the celebration, and its grand significance, and why it is such a huge milestone in a Hispanic girl's life, I am proud to say, as a Puerto Rican woman, that the significance is really, really grand, and it really has changed my point of view of life. Although the rituals vary by country, by family origin, the objective remains the same: the celebration of a young lady entering a new stage in her life, the change from girlhood to adulthood, and, with it, the advent of new responsibilities.